When I left middle school, I was scared, depressed, lonely, and afraid. My social activity in the previous 4 years consisted of bullying and physical and verbal harassment. In the mornings at school, I would walk in circles, pretending to have a place to be, to have someone to see, but I never did. Constantly going to the bathroom or getting a drink from the water fountain to try and occupy as much time as possible. I eventually started asking my mom to drop me off about a mile away from school, saying it would be my daily exercise, timing myself to get to school when the bell rang. My lack of support and low self-esteem affected my grades, and hope seemed like an old t-shirt, dirty and used. I was visible enough for people to notice me, but invisible to the point where they had no interest in talking to me. I was there, but I wasn't there. I didn't even have a name most of the time, often called "Hey you" or "Hey boy." Other names that people called me was stupid, fat, and ugly. Though capable of laughing and talking, every sentence or chuckle that escaped me was followed by my eyes darting to the floor and placing my sweaty palms into the depths of my pockets. Since I was called fat so often, I wore a sweater for the whole school year, 2 sweaters for the whole school year. I often attempted to either not eat any food or throw it up if I did. And after a while, after things got worse, sometimes I would try and make the pain go away. I'm just glad the cuts on my arms did not become scars. In the spring, however, I heard of the Doctors Academy / AVID program at Sunnyside High. Intrigued and interested, I submitted an application. After my application was processed and confirmed, I was called for an interview. A few weeks later, I received a letter of acceptance into the AVID program at Sunnyside. There was hope for me yet, if not for my social life, then at least for my academic life. A requirement of the AVID program is to attend a summer class with the rest of the other students who were accepted. On the ride to school, I told myself that I needed to change, a decision that would affect my life, my perspective on life, because it all needed to be better for me. Upon arrival to the first day of the summer class, I was bombarded with over 40 unfamiliar faces, but it was clearly an array of brilliance, because each one of those students gleamed with some distinct light about them. Students who I would never forget. Over the summer, the incoming AVID students, as we were often referred to, took leadership class for the first 3 weeks and sociology for living for the last 3 weeks. During this time, we all bonded. We did team building activities in leadership and developed study groups in sociology for living. By the end of the summer, lifelong friendships were formed, sibling tight bonds were created, and a strong connection of support arose between everyone. By participating in this summer program, we unintentionally sealed a lifelong support system. These bonds encouraged me to become, encouraged me to do, and encouraged me to become anything I choose to be, to do all the goals I set for myself, and to be me, who I am, inside and out. By the end of freshman year, we were a pretty tight-knit group. However, the excitement overwhelmed me, and I became too immersed into the social part of high school that I didn't have prior coming to Sunnyside. My grades at the end of freshman year slipped just below the GPA requirement for AVID, and I was placed on probation, no longer allowed to participate in AVID activities, and no longer allowed to be in the AVID classroom with the rest of my peers. I was at a loss. The support system was still there. We all still spent time together outside the classroom, but not being in the classroom with all of them present made me feel distant and uncomfortable, away from the family bond we created nearly 2 years prior. However, with the encouragement and the support of faculty and friends, I was determined to get back into this program. So I made reinstatement a priority, and I worked diligently to raise my grades. I participated in study groups, I kept a well-organized binder, I took great Cornell notes, and I communicated with my teachers. Just a few little tricks I picked up when I was in AVID. I was determined to raise my grades and get back into my seat with the rest of the AVID class of 2007. The semester ended, grades were sent home, and my application for reinstatement was turned in. And I'll never forget the day I went to the mailbox and found a letter addressed to me from Sunnyside High. In that envelope was a letter inviting me back to the AVID program. I did it. I was back where I needed to be, back with my family. Today, I stand before you as an AVID alumnus, class of 2007. I had 8 full classes, 3 of them which were AP, and I graduated with a 3.5 GPA. Because of AVID, I also participated in many other clubs, groups, and organizations. I was president of the Gay Straight Alliance Club on campus, lead role in the school play, lead peer in the No More program, an athlete, writer for the school and local newspaper, tutor for the AVID freshmen, and the United Student Body Commissioner of Rallies and Assemblies. The support of my AVID peers, teachers, and counselors has helped me pave a way to my future. And I know this room is filled with AVID teachers, counselors, and supporters, and like AVID staff at my school, you are making a difference in your communities. You are all educators in AVID, but you guys are all teachers in life. Most people don't figure out what they want to do until halfway through college, sometimes changing their major all the time. But through the AVID program, I visited college campuses from UC Berkeley to USC, and I was encouraged to get involved in stuff outside of school. I became part of the Youth Leadership Institute, which focuses on underage drinking, and the No More program, which provides support for teens who are or have experienced abusive relationships. Because of my experience in these groups, I realized how important it is for me to help others. And I decided that this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. I will be attending CSU Fresno in the fall. I will major in public health with a minor in communications. My long-term goal is to become a motivational speaker to adolescent high school-age youth on the issues they face: sex, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, relationship abuse, sexual orientation, and sexually transmitted diseases. Teens need help and guidance in these areas, and I want to help make a difference in their lives. Ultimately, I would like to play a role in nonprofit organizations where focus would be in training high school-age youth to become peer educators who could provide support for their peers and provide presentations on these subjects. I have not forgotten the young man I once was, nameless, afraid, invisible, walking in circles pretending to have a place to be. And I am grateful to AVID for giving me that place. I now look forward to my future with confidence, courage, and hope.